as you can hear, comes from either the Malaysian or the Indonesian. I suspect the Indonesian supporters here, because this is the 64th All-England men's final. Is a battle royal between that great badminton player and athlete, Rudy Hartono. He's won it for the past 6 years, this championship, and he's now trying to win it for the 7th time, and so surpass the great Erland Kopps's record of 7 wins in this virtual World Championship. Although Kopps didn't win it in consecutive years. And his opponent from Malaysia, there he is. He's known as Punch or Paddy Gunalan, and he's the gold medalist in the Commonwealth Games. I said Empire Games then, this year. Noted as a doubles player, and many people, and over the past few days I've heard it said perhaps the greatest doubles player in the world, maybe the greatest doubles player ever, although that's an accolade that one would perhaps hesitate to give to him, but certainly a magnificent doubles player, and no great record in singles apart from his Commonwealth gold, and challenging here against the pride of Indonesia, Rudy Hartono. Hartono, not just a good or a great badminton player, but a magnificent athlete. Beautiful mover, fast, tremendous touch, lightning speed. He's got the lot. Although perhaps as far as Hartono is concerned, as some of his colleagues might say, he's a little slower this year. Maybe he hasn't got the zip in his smash that he used to have. But he's pulled himself up off the ground on 2 occasions, in the quarter-final and the semi-final. A magnificent match against Stuart Johnson last night, when he might well have lost in 2, and he came back and won the 3rd decisively. And that is the smash. I'm not suggesting that the shuttle knocked the racket out of the hand of Hartono, but that smash is something that we'll have to watch. It is really a magnificent weapon in the Gunalan armory. And you had it there.
Service over.
But it was out.
Love.
6 times champion, Hartono. 2 love.
3 love.
Well, there's a great deal of rivalry, of course, between Malaysia and Indonesia. Hartono must be the favourite, although Gunalan's surprised everybody this year by doing so well in the singles. Hartono, of course, doesn't seem to be quite as dominating as he has in previous years. He's lost 2 sets. I can't remember the last time he lost a set at the All England.
Service over. 3-1. Over 1-3.
In spite of the fact that we haven't got any home interest here in this match, I think a lot of the badminton connoisseurs, and most of them here, the 5,000 or 6,000 of them that are in here at Wembley, are badminton connoisseurs, and they'll be looking forward very much to this match, because it, from a tactical point of view and a technical point of view, it really has a lot of attractions. The all-round ability, the brilliance of Hartono that you see there in that smash, putting that shuttle on the ground.
3-1.
and the fascinating incursion into the singles game of Gunalan, his opponent. One could see something of the doubles technique
Service
coming
over.
out there in Gunalan,
1-3.
getting in very fast, playing well at the net.
Two, three.
First game, Gunalan serving, 2-3.
Service over, 3-2.
And when it comes to getting in at the net, the athletic Hartono is certainly no slouch. He was in very quickly then.
Service over, 2-3.
This man Gunalan wins this first game. If he has to work to win it, I think we might see a very interesting situation when he throw the second one.
Service over, 3-2.
3-2, service over, best of 3-game match, and each game first to reach 15 unless we get to the setting procedure where they can set to 5 at 13 and to 3 at 14, but we'll jump that hurdle if we come to it.
Service over, 2-3.
The big questions: can the smash of Gunalan hit through the defense of Hartono? If they get into a duel at the net,
Service
which
over,
one is going to be dominant?
3-2.
Can the stamina of Gunalan stand up to this match? Those are the big questions that are going to be answered in the next half hour or so.
Service over, 2-3.
And top badminton players, not only with superb judgment of length when they hit the shuttle, but also with tremendous uncanny judgment in knowing which shuttle to lead.
3-all.
Level pegging now.
Service over, 3-4.
And that shuttle just wide of the sideline. And so the service comes back to 6 times champion Hartono. There he is. And Gunalan, the 30 years old Gunalan, of Indian extraction, but from Malaysia. Not too happy with the shuttle that was chosen by Hartono. Happy with the speed of that one now. 4-3, 3-4. And the champion trailing by just 1 point in the first game.
4-all.
Well left and well outside the baseline. That is a really vicious smash. But to no avail, it was wide of the sideline. And Hartono serving and in the lead by 6 points to 4. And a little hesitation, and back he goes to take out another shuttle. The slightest injury, as one might say, to a feather, and it's changed here. These are world-class players, and they're playing a really big match. There's a lot in it in terms of personal rivalry and rivalry between nations. The Malaysian-Indonesian rivalry.
4-7.
And Gunalan serving can't afford to let champion Hartono get away in this first game, because I think it's to Gunalan's disadvantage,
7-4.
since he's some 5 years age difference between them, and his stamina is a little suspect if Hartono wins the first game.
Service over. 4-7.
And this fast, athletic game being played like a game of chess almost by Gunalan and Hartono.
6-7.
Each of them using every inch of the court. The superb smashing that you saw there, racket head speed,
6.
really going very hard by Hartono, and then the contrast with the delicacy of the drops that this man can play, and his opponent too.
Service over. 6.
That's a feature of Gunalan's
7.
play. He gets in very quickly, and those drops he takes very often above net height. He takes a gamble. Ron Lockwood, a great pullback by Gunalan. What do you think of his chances now?
Yes, he's pulled back very well, getting himself back into the game. As you yourself said, it's essential for Punch's chances of success for him to win this first game.
8.
It's a fascinating game. Cat and mouse tactics, each one feeling out the other's weaknesses on the day. They know each other's play, but one day one particular stroke is on, one day it's off, and they're just testing each other out all the time.
Service over. 7-8.
Without a doubt, fascinating is the adjective to describe this game. And a quiet, appreciative audience here at Wembley, watching Hartono serving. And there's the smash of Gunalan's again.
Service over.
Gunalan, the gold medalist in the Commonwealth Games this year. Tremendous. Oh. And I'm sure that Gunalan thought he got that point in the bag, and the defense, the athleticism of Hartono pulled it out.
Service over. 8-7.
Gunalan to serve, and in the lead, 8 points to 7 in this first game. And there again, taking that shuttle early, not waiting for it to drop and then having to clear it or play another difficult drop back. He gets in quickly, racket up at net height, and pops it down on the ground. 30 years old, and this is positively, he tells me, his last competitive game. It's a big one too, a world championship, virtually a world championship.
Service over, 7-10.
And Hartono lost the first game in a magnificent game to Sture Johnson of Sweden last night. He dropped a game also in the quarter-final to Hansen of Denmark. And as Ron Lockwood said earlier, when did he last drop a game here at the All England? Are there some chinks in the armour here of the great champion?
Service over, 10-7.
Again, Hartono not happy with the shuttlecocks. They're being strewn round there, and I'm sure that most of you watching at home who play badminton would be only too delighted to get your hands on them, because I'm sure they're hardly damaged at all. But this is the big time. This is the World Championship, the All England Championship. And the shuttle must be perfect.
Service over.
I think Hartono's
10.
maintaining his standard. I think that he's taking his time. I think he appreciates that Gunalan's stamina may be suspect. At least Gunalan always says he's very unfit and he's too old to play this standard of play. But I think that might be a bit of old madam, really.
Service over, 10-7.
And clipping the line, and the linesman's finger immediately out to indicate that it was an in shuttle. And the Indonesian supporters, who started off a little noisily, a little quieter now. The shuttles they started off with, tested earlier, were 78 grains. That was their weight. As the crowd is in here and the place gets a little hotter, perhaps now they're thinking of 77s, or they might change to them later on. With a short, sharp serve there from Gunalan, beautifully, very deceptive, beautifully
Service
finessed.
over, 7-12.
First to reach 15. First game. Hartono serve.
8-12. Service over, 12-8.
And Gunalan, his stamina may be suspect, but his speed is tremendous. Great anticipation there.
13-8.
13-8. The writing on the wall in this first game now for champion Hartono. I think this man, Gunalan, has really got this crowd going. He is really putting on a superb performance.
First game to Gunalan, 15-8.
And so the first game to the representative of Malaysia, Punch, or Paddy as we call him, Gunalan. I can't pronounce his first name anyway, but that's what he's been christened in this country. He had 3 years before 1968 at the Brighton College of Technology. The most he achieved while he was here was to become Sussex champion. And now here he is on the way, possibly, to an All-England Championship. What do you think, Ron Lockwood?
Well, you could very well be right, Emlyn. Punch there showed that a good attack is always going to beat a good defence, and he was certainly more decisive throughout that game, and he applied the pressure just at the right time. They were level pegging up to 8-all, and then he managed to change up into a higher gear, and you saw the result. He went away and won the game. As you yourself mentioned, sometimes he decides that it's good tactics to take a breather in the second game and loses it deliberately. But the way he started here, he certainly looks as though he's going to put all he can into it.
Well, Ron, I don't think he's going to take a breather in the second game, because he hasn't taken enough out of himself in the first game. If it had been a much closer one, I think he might have threw it. But I think he's in here trying, as he was in the second game against Sven Pri last night.
Please, in fairness to both players, quiet during the rallies. Please.
And very reasonably, Miss Arthur Jones asking, in fairness to both players, for no applause or no shouting during the rallies. That's not exactly in the tradition of any of the racket games.
Service over, love, 3.
3 sharp points then to Gunalan in this second game, and he already has the first game in his pocket. 15 points to 8.
Service over, 3 love.
Positively his last competitive game, he says. I wonder whether he'll stick to that if he wins this All-England title. Qualified engineer. I'm talking about Gunalan actually, but there is Hartono, who is in fact a student of economics in Jakarta.
Service over, love, 3. Service over, 3 love.
It'll be very interesting now to see if once again this great badminton player, this great athlete Hartono, can pick himself up off the ground, as he did against Sture Johnson in that magnificent semi-final last night. He did it not to the same degree, but he dropped a game to Hansen of Denmark in the quarter-finals, and now he's 1 game down in the final here against Gunalan. The pressure's on him. There's Gunalan serving. Can Hartono come back yet once again and prove his greatness? And that one was well out. A little drift on that shuttlecock, and the shuttle does drift from right to left as you are looking at the wide angle of our picture. This shuttle only weighing 78 grains. Doesn't take much in the way of a draft or movement of air to move it across. And the movement of air here is from right to left as you're looking now, so the players have to compensate for that. That was good. Just clipping the line.
5.
Love 5 and a game down. Hartono serving.
Service over, 5 love.
Gunalan really on top of the world at the moment. The strokes, just everything going right. They're really flowing.
Service over, love, 5.
and the pressure on Hartono. It was wide, well wide.
1-5.
And a cheer because Hartono has notched his first point in this second game.
Service over.
It was just in.
5-1.
And the service comes back to Gunalan. And while it's hard to remember when Hartono lost his last game in this championship, apart from in the quarterfinal and the semi-finals here this year, it's hard to remember when Gunalan last played in the singles. He really is remarkable that here is a man who doesn't profess to be a singles player, but one of the greatest doubles player in the world, perhaps the best ever. And here he is challenging at 30 years of age against the 6 times champion Hartono, and going very well, leading 5-1 in the second game and a game up. Ron Lockwood, Hartono's not withstanding this pressure.
No, surprisingly not. He doesn't seem to have much answer to Gunalan's all-out attacking game. He certainly seems to have lost the edge that we've seen in the last 6 years, I suppose. It's only natural to lose some incentive after you've been champion for such a long period of time. And of course, with Gunalan has absolutely everything to gain here today.
Service over. 1-6.
Oh, and there it is again. It wasn't a bad serve, that.
Service over. 6.
And that racket head flashing through like a snake's tongue. A tremendously fast smash there. That really has been the feature of this match. The attacking skill, the all-out attack of Gunalan. His beautiful touch at the net. His command of tactics. And of course he hasn't really taken too much out of himself physically. Talking to the Indonesians over the last few days, even they say perhaps that the great man Hartono, who had a spell out of badminton after the Thomas Cup last year, where he lost to Sven Pri, has lost a little of his edge. Not quite as fast, perhaps, with a little of the sting gone out of his smash, but still tremendous competitive instinct and tremendous experience. There he is, the great champion Hartono, in trouble now, 7-1 down in the second game.
Seven. Three, 7.
That was good. Gunalan not very happy about it, but no doubt in the linesman's mind. And while we're not sitting in the best position to see a baseline, I thought too it was in.
Service over. 7-4. Service over. 4-7.
I thought Hartono might have been in a bit of trouble there. There was one occasion when there was a drop from Gunalan that if Gunalan had been taking it himself, I think he'd have been in there and put the shuttle on the floor. And mark of the fact that Hartono perhaps is a little tired, perhaps he's gone back a little bit, that he was a bit slow on that. But he managed to win the point, and he's won another one now.
7.
Just 2 points separating them, 5-7 in the first game, 15-8 to Gunalan. Hartono serve.
Hartono's coming back into the game. I thought a few moments ago that he looked as though he was starting to adopt a more attacking position, and I think we might see him trying to put on the pressure at this stage. Gunalan might be thinking he's tired, whether he is or not, we'll see.
Over, 7-all.
And Gunalan in tremendously fast there to put that shuttle on the floor. His stamina may be a bit suspect by his own admission, but certainly he's not lacking in speed, he's not lacking in touch, he's not lacking in attacking ability, and he's certainly not lacking in tactical sense. Poised and waiting, Hartono.
Service over, 7-8.
Hartono there really hanging on by his eyebrows now. He's made a good pullback. Just 1 point separating them now.
Service over, 8-7.
It was good, just clipping the line.
8.
Punch Gunalan there, looking slightly dejected on occasions. Been a bit upset about 1 or 2 line calls.
Service over, 8-7. Service over, 7-8.
This match in a very critical stage just now for both players, but particularly I think as far as Gunalan is concerned, because it's my view that if he's going to win this final, he's got to win it in 2 straight games. That one was just on the baseline. And again, another shuttle from the perfectionist Hartono. And a little time being spent too in getting the shuttle. And this is Bill Holwell bringing it out. Very well-known figure in the badminton world. There's a tremendous amount for the game. Eight all, Hartono serving. I wonder, a sign of tiredness. He was in there very fast, but previously, when he got in there, he put the shuttle over the net and on the ground on his opponent's side. But he didn't do it on that occasion. And 2 points in the lead now, Hartono, trailing 2 points. There's Gunalan. The delicate touch is still with him, even though he may be tiring. 8-10, and the first game to Gunalan, 15 points to 8.
Old called. Service over, 10-8.
Gunalan faltered there for lifting his foot on service. Both feet have to be on the floor at the time of impact of the shuttle with the racket.
not only do part of both feet have to be in contact with the ground, the player has to be stationary, he mustn't hit the shuttle above waist height, and no part of the racket must be above the hand.
10.
And so the server is very limited in what he can do with the serve. The short one like that, and of course he can go for the high one, which is more usual in singles play.
Service over. 10-9.
Right on the baseline, that shot of Gunalan's there, and again in very fast, taking it early. I was talking to him about the technique and the tactics of this game last night, and the fascination of it for him, and for both of them, as a matter of fact, because they really do, and all great badminton players do, play this game like a game of chess, and particularly for the Eastern nations who love to be able to fool opponents. And so with this game you can finesse, you can take the shuttle early, leave it a little bit, make your opponent move. Hartono 2 points in the lead, 11 points to 9 in the second game, having lost the first game, 15 points to 8. Concentration. Well, he didn't. He was trying to put that shuttle on the floor, but what he nearly did was hit it right through champion Hartono. Hartono, 6 times champion, 6 consecutive years, trying to equal Erlen Kopp's record of 7 wins.
Service over. 9-12. Service over. 12-9.
And a new shuttlecock coming out about every 3 points, I would guess. You can see them strewn to the left of the courts there. Nothing wrong with the shuttlecocks, it's just that they want a new one so that it'll fly right and true.
13.
I think tiredness beginning to creep into Gunalan's game now. 5 years difference, 30 years old Gunalan, playing positively, he says, his last competitive game. 25 years old from Jakarta, living now in Jakarta, Hartono. The mistakes are beginning to creep into the Gunalan game, a wry shake of the head there. And I feel that he had to win this game in 2 straight games if he was going to take this championship. Game point. That's it, 15-9. Well, a tremendous turnabout there. The first part of this second game was all Gunalan. He was leading, what was it, 6-1, 7-1, something like that. And then gradually, Hartono wore him down, hung on by his eyebrows, came back and took the game 15-9. 1 game all. A fascinating game, Ron Lockwood.
Yes, wonderful to watch. The true mark of a champion, Rudy Hartono, pulling himself right off the floor there when, as you say, he was lost the first game and was down 6-7-1 in the second. But at that stage, I don't know whether Gunalan couldn't believe his eyes, but he certainly, his concentration possibly relaxed a bit. The errors started to creep into his game. Hartono saw his chance, and you don't need to give Hartono more than one chance for him to pull himself right back into the game. We could be wrong, but if we believe Gunalan, you know, he says that his fitness is so suspect that the favourite should be now for Hartono to win yet another All England Championship.
Well, his stamina may be suspect, but it's everything to gain here, and let's see if Gunalan can really pull out just that little bit more and go through the pain barrier and win this All England Championship. Is he so tired that his technique is impaired? Well, we'll see in the next few minutes. And the course that this match has taken is so very much like the semi-final, the Hartono Sture Johnson of Sweden semi-final, a fascinating game last night, which also went to 3, and Hartono, like a boxer who's received a heavy punch and gone down, he took his count but picked himself off the ground and won that match. Can he do it again?
1 love.
The really great player is the player who will, even on his worst day, is better than his opponent on his best day. And we'll have to see whether Hartono comes into that category, because he's not the Hartono of the last 3 or 4 years. He's lost something, but he still seems to have enough to win against all opposition. And of course, it's not just personal pride at stake for both these players here. There's a great national rivalry. Malaysia, Indonesia. Hartono, Indonesia. Gunalan, Malaysia. And just as a point of interest, we have some Indonesian commentators right by the side of us here, taking it live on satellite to Indonesia. So that gives you an idea of the interest in the game in that country. Second, I'm told, only to soccer.
From what I hear, Emlyn, the crowds at badminton matches in Indonesia and the Far East in general are not dissimilar to those at football matches, actually. Not from the rioting point of view, but quite a lot of barracking and shouting and supporting going on for their favourites. We've heard a bit of it here today, but the umpires soon put a stop to that.
Service over, 3 love. Service over, love 4.